Oh, once you are broken, every chain. That's how it's trying to make your name. Mi kúrò tó ìgbèkùn, ó sọ pèsè ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tí mo dá. Once you are broken, every chain. That's how it's trying to prayers are up on the girls, up on the girls, up on the girls, up on the girls. Everybody's what? I will have Daddy, ẹ ṣe lọ́ba ẹ̀yin mátà tí gbé ní ìpẹ́pẹ́rẹ́. Ẹbí ẹni tó bá yín lá. Ṣé lọ́ba ayé Tòrò òun ni arúgbó ọ̀dọ́. Wọ́n sọ pé ẹ̀rù ọba bí ọba ẹ̀jẹ̀ ọba Jésù. Arúgbó ọ̀dọ́ Jésù. Ìwọ láṣẹ dá. Everybody. Ìwọ lónìí ògo, lónìí aláyé. Ọdún Ubakoni láì láti, Ubakoni lórí ní òkò tó Jésù, máa tó rọ̀ arúgbó. Ọba àwọn ọba aládé ẹni ológo dídọ̀ 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 dídọ̀. Ó yá sọ pé mímọ́ mímọ́ mímọ́. Oh, tu madre, Ibutu, Butu, Iwa Yoga, Iwa, 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 Daddy, nobody, 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 wọ́n kọrin kan sí mi létí, wọ́n ní pé sí olùdúdú òwe àtàkàtà ọ̀rẹ́ àpọ̀. Wọ́n tún ní sí I just said that God just wants us to hear you on this one. When you declare God as king, he heard the something ọba Buhari orísun ọgbọ́n. Babaláwo olùṣègùn olùṣègùn wọlá ìṣègùn. Ọba ní ọba ní ọba ní ọba ní ọba ní. He's the king. He's the Lord. His name is King. His name is King. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, let's go. 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 Oh my Lord, baby, he didn't mean to go to me. He don't like me. He didn't mean to go to me. He don't like me. What's what they call? This thing they carry me go another level. No, be so we plan now. We never supposed to start this. 2 minutes of following. How many of you know who see me come? You ready? Wọ́n ní tòun sì ló sọ̀rọ̀ kan kó máa jẹ́ kí kúrá. Ó sọ wípé generation àti rábìnrin ayérayé Jésù wọ̀nyí ẹ̀wù. Ó ní pé He's praising you, yet no answer to love. And it's a generation. Only when they keep praising you, yet no answer to love. Honey, and I ask the Lord, what did you? And it's
Hello.
generation, everybody say, after generation. Yes, they keep praising you, yet no answer. And I said, and I'm thinking, what did you? Yahweh Baba, Yahweh Baba. Prayers are prayers. You're the Holy One. Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. The King of Zion, the King. Yah lórúkọ Ọlọ́run, Yah àdìyà lórúkọ. Oh, Jésù Kristi yá. Let's on. Torí bọ̀dá mi Nathaniel Bassey, mo ṣe ń sọ wípé wọ́n ní hallelujah 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 sing hallelujah hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh, oh, la 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 la, so bum 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 bum, Mommy, daddy, Odi, what the Lord, I Isa, Seba was there alone. There is nothing he cannot do. There is no mountain he cannot move. There is no prayer he cannot answer. There is no problem he cannot solve. He does very if we are standing the boat, he has a record of keeping his word. It's not a
Hello.
Àmì àṣẹ̀dá ẹni tí ò ní ọ kò ní kan. Ẹni tí ò ní ọ kò ní nǹkan kan. Ẹni tí ò ní ọ kò ní kan. Ẹni tí ò ní ọ kò ní kan. Ìbàrẹ̀màrẹ̀ onígbẹ̀dẹ̀ ọ̀run. Ìwọ tó ní gbogbo ayé ní ìkáwọ́, ó ti dò ìka tó. Ìbà onímọ̀ tó ga jù. Bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe. Àṣà ìdá mo gbé bàbá ní àṣà ìdá àlà. Ẹni tí ó ní ọ̀fẹ́, ẹni tí ó ní lánà ńlá pàálí ìfà. Àtọ́kọ̀ tó mo rí bá o. Ẹni tí ó ní ọ̀fẹ́, ó ní nǹkan kan. Tí ò ní nǹkan. Ẹ máa ní pẹ̀rẹ̀ lábọ́. Ẹni tí ò ní kò ní kí nìkan lágbọ̀n. Ẹni tí ò ní kò ní kan. Ó tán fún láyé lọ́rùn. Ẹni tí ò ní kò ní kan. Òkun ó dá ọ̀sà. Alára tó fomi ṣe ọ̀ṣọ́. Ìwọ tó mọ bí ẹja gbàdódò. Májẹ̀mú tó buyọjá òkun. Yanrìn àtẹ̀káyé. Ọ̀dà òkùnkùn bírímù. ọ̀gá ìmọ̀lẹ̀ o ojú ọ̀run wo nílẹ̀kùn ó gbé bí méjèèjì láì rìnrìn àjò ó mú ẹ̀dá gbanú ẹ̀dá wáyé ibi ẹ̀mí gbà lọ bá ẹnìkan ò mọ̀ àjùlọ o ẹni tí ò wá ọ kò lè mọ̀ nǹkan ẹni tí ò wá ẹ ò ẹni tí ò ní ọ kò ní nǹkan orí nǹkan kan o ẹni tí ò ní ọ afọ́jú san tó nítọ̀hún lọ ń gbà ẹni tí ò ní ọ nìkan kò ní nǹkan kan o ẹni tí ò ní ọ kò ní nǹkan. Jẹ̀mú ilé ìpín ló jẹ́ ìjìnlẹ̀ aláìlè tú. Ìràwọ̀ ń yọ láláyé ló ń gbà òṣùpá ń ṣàtọ́kùn tó bá dalẹ̀ ní o. Ibi gbogbo náà ti bí rí rẹ̀ ní. Ọ̀tọ̀ ló faradà oòrùn sáyé. Ó ṣòjò ó tún ṣọ̀dá ẹ̀ mọ́. Ó ṣèkàn bí ọyẹ́ ó tún ṣòtútù. Ẹranko igbó wọn lọ súwà. Ewéko bẹ́ẹ̀ igi ìyẹn ò ṣe é ṣàwárí tán. Ẹni tí òrìṣà kò rí nǹkan. Ẹni tí òrìṣà kò rí nǹkan. Ẹni tí òrìṣà kò rí nǹkan. Ọ̀dà kò ríra pa bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ẹni tí òrìṣà kò rí nǹkan. Ẹni tí òrìṣà kò rí nǹkan. Ọpẹ́ mi ní ìpín tí kò jẹ́ kejì bí o lálẹ́ o èmi ní àmì aṣẹ̀dá látọ̀run adágbẹ̀yìn ni mí ó wá fi mí jọba ohun gbogbo tó ti kọ́dá ó dá mi ó sún mi níre èmi ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àṣẹ Olódùmarè ni àmì lòun èmi làmì àyànmọ́ ògo ogún mi ni. Ẹ̀dá ẹ̀mí ló fi ṣèránṣẹ́ mi, àkọ́rí ìran mi ojú ògo rẹ̀ ni. Mo ní ìmí ìyè ẹ̀ nínú, ẹni yóò rí mi kò rí nǹkan. Ẹni tí ò rí mi kò rí nǹkan. Ẹni tí ò rí mi kò ṣàlọ́. Ẹni tí ò rí mi kò rí nǹkan. Ẹni tí ò rí mi kò rí nǹkan. Ó fọ́jú ẹni tí ò rí mi òrìṣà ọlọ́rọ̀ ó dá mi bí òun ẹni tí ò rí nǹkan tí ò rí mi òrìṣà ọlọ́rọ̀ ẹni tí ò ẹni tí ò rí wọ́n pa. Ajẹ́kọ̀ọ́rí nǹkan ẹni tí ò rí mi kò rí nǹkan. Àmì làwa jẹ́ síwọ àmì. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni rẹ̀ ló jẹ́ káyé wà ó. Ọlọ́run làmì. Àmì ló ń fa mi wá hàn. Ayé àtọ̀run làmì yẹn. Aṣẹ̀dá ni àmì, ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ló jẹ́ ká máa wà. Ọlọ́run làmì o, ṣàmì Ọlọ́run ṣe o. Tó bá sọ pé àmì Ọlọ́run ni, àmì Ọlọ́run ni, àmì orí wa, àmì ìrìn àjò, àmì àti wáyé, àmì àti gbáyé, àmì àti padà, àmì gbogbo ẹ̀, àmì àti yè. Àmì àti ṣeré, àmì àti gòkè, àmì àti bọ́lọ́wọ́lọ́ òkun, àmì àti dẹ́ni ńlá, àmì òun làmì orí wa. Ẹ ṣàmì o, àmì ló ń kọ rẹ̀ aṣẹ̀dá, àmì ló ń kọ rẹ̀ aṣẹ̀dá, àmì ni mo ṣe kémi balẹ̀ yìí. Àmì ni mo ṣe kí n lè gòkè, àmì ni mo ṣe kápá ọ̀tá má ká mi, àmì ni mo ṣe kí n lè di ńlá, àmì ni mo ṣe kí n lè padà dára, Àmì ni mo ṣe kí n lè bá jọba. Àmì ni mo ṣe sọ́lọ́dùmarè. Mo sọ pé yes. Mo sọ pé amen. Mo sọ pé yes. Mo sọ pé
Títí owó agbára rẹ̀ láyé mi ní orí rẹ̀. You showed up for me. Already so you see what I don't think of me. You do what no man can do. We want you to see you today, okay? I thought I will shout, I will sing the song of you. I will shout, I will sing, concerning the I will shout, I will sing, it's all about you. I will shout, I will sing, for the many, many things you don't do for me. Jesus, your love is so great. He only shut away, you shut away, lying in my mouth. And I can support because Baba is I know only worry about no one else, Baba, Jesus,
ọdún wọn kọjá lọ kò sọ́ba bí rẹ̀. Àánú tí mo rí gbà iyebíye ni kò sẹ́ni bí rẹ̀. Gbọ́dọ̀ ó tún mú mi dúró kò sọ́ba bí rẹ̀. Èmi yàrá ìfọlọ́kùn mọ́lẹ̀ olúworí ló bá mi tù ú. Ọmọràn tó mọ yún ìgbín nígbà tó òun ló mú mi olúmọ mi ló ṣayé mi bàlá fi ọwẹ alọ lè bá ọjọ́ gbà ọ̀hún. Ìwọ làwa ìwọ làwa ẹni tó àwọn ni mojú fún ó kojú ọlá rẹ̀ wò ní ò bàbá rẹ̀
I was mad, I knew I was sure.
Traveled around mountain, high and low, built around on the mountain, in the valley, across the ocean, across the sea. Traveled around, finally, high and low, on the mountains, in the valley, across the ocean, across the sea. I will be you will need a sea. I can't wait to show. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All mountains, great or small, strong and fearful, storms can never stand before you, my God. How great you are, oh Lord, how great you are. All mountains, great, small, strong and fearful, storms can never stand before you, my God. How great you are, oh Lord, how great you are. Everybody, lift your voice, say, oh, great. We say, oh, before you, my God, we say how great you are. Oh Lord, how great you are. We know great no small. We say beautiful, strong can never stand. Oh, before you. We declare how great you are. We say, oh Lord, everybody. Okay. We say, okay. So let you do. We declare all our rules. We say, yes, he will be. Yes, be. Everybody, it's your voice. We say, So let's go. Mighty God, take me. Yeah. Boys, I lift your hand. Begin to declare that nobody can stand before God. Nobody can stand before God. You're the great, and me. Yes, I'll be. Prophesy. See ya. Yeshua, Hamashiach, Lion of Judah, Abune Chemba. Yes, see ya. Chemba. Yes, you are. Hallelujah. Lion of Judah. Abune Chemba. Give me a sound. I'm not sure. I know Jesus. I know Jesus. I'll put you in front of my melody. You are all that matters. You are all that matters. I'll make room for two. You and I, Jesus. You are all that matters. You are all that matters. Oh, hey, oh. You are all that matters. Oh, hey, oh, hey. You are all that matters. Oh, hey, oh, hey. You are all that matters. Anano Kanyamano.
If I don't have you,
If I don't have you,
won't you take me home, we go. One, if I can see you like one, if you don't mind.
Jesus, you and Jesus.
sit the car or sit the house, I'll keep them all to you. Is it the name or is it the fame? I'm nothing without you. What would have become if I didn't see your light? What would have been said of me? You didn't hold my hand. No, you, you are all. Front of my front of my show me for the
It was.
Orin hallelujah ni wọ́n bá wọn tọrọ kọ. Orin ọdún ní, orin ọdún ní, orin ìṣẹ́gun. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ bá sí Ọlọ́run lọ́wọ́. Sí àmì bẹ̀rẹ̀ àti òpin sí ẹni tó dá ayé àtọ̀run tó ṣáájú dé padà gbẹ̀yìn o. Lórin máa jẹ́ yóò jọ. Solo. Oh. Oh. Orin hallelujah. Ọmọ Ọlọ́run ọmọ Ọlọ́run iṣẹ́ yìí mo wá jẹ́ tí mo kọ́ rí àánú lẹ́kùn àánú kan sí Gàràgàdà ló ṣí sílẹ̀. Ọmọ máa bọ̀, ọmọ máa bọ̀, ọmọ máa bọ̀. Ẹ kàn ìgbà ọmọ máa bọ̀. Àánú ọmọ. Àánú àṣìṣe yóò ti ṣàṣìṣe ìdààmú yóò ti rí ìdààmú ìbànújẹ́ ṣòro ìbànújẹ́ iṣẹ́ yìí mo wá jẹ́ àánú máa ló kàn ìyípadà rẹ ló òdodo rẹ kì í yẹ̀ ojú òkè fi gbogbo rẹ̀ sílẹ̀ bóyá sáré. Ìtúsílẹ̀ ìsọdọmọ ń bẹ.
Ìrìnkúrìn ìwàkiwà ìṣekúṣe èròkérò. Ìfẹ́ òsì kò sẹ́nìkan, ó wá ìfẹ́ ó lọ ṣiṣẹ́. Panṣágà, àgbèrè, ìwà ẹ̀rí, ìpànìyàn. Ẹwà ògo rẹ̀ gbé ọ́. Ilẹ̀ àpò.
Mighty God, hallowed be the name. Faithful God, you are worthy to receive all the praise for you alone, for the air that I breathe, the songs that I sing, the lover of my soul. With you, there is no report to be. With you, I can move the mountain. Whatever you say, will surely come to pass. At the mention of the name, every knee must bow. Oh, unchangeable, reliable. Oh, can do what the world can do. Unchangeable, reliable. Oh, you can do what the world can do. Unchangeable, reliable. Can do what the world can do. Unchangeable, reliable. You can do what the world can do. There is nothing, absolutely nothing. There is nothing impossible to you. You keep sight of the light. The greatness and the power make me just a woman. One more thing that I can see you through. Oh, there is nothing, absolutely nothing. There is nothing impossible to you. Unchangeable. Can do what the world can do. Unchangeable.
Unchangeable. Unchangeable. Reliable. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. There's nothing impossible to do.
Anywhere you lead, we will go. Cause you are the way, truth, and life. Jesus, you never leave me no birthday. Except you build a house, the builders build in vain. Me, I go fall, beautiful. Anyway, Jesus, my life is for your glory, your glory. Taking the eye, you never leave me no birthday. My life.
Good morning, distinguished shareholders and members of the board. May I call the meeting to order, and I would kindly request you, sir, can you lead us in prayer?
Please let us stand for prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Oh God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for keeping us alive. We thank you that we are able to see today, for many have gone. May your name be glorified in Jesus' name. Father, we, the members of our company, eTransact International, have gathered here today to celebrate our annual general meeting. We ask you to be with us, guide us, give us the wisdom and the knowledge to have successful celebration throughout this meeting, in Jesus' name. Father, we also ask you to help us, help our directors, help the management, help all the people concerned with their company to be able to make progress in this company, make good profit, so that at the end of the day, the shareholders and the workers and everybody will be able to benefit in the company. All this we ask you in Jesus' name.
Thank you, sir. May we be seated. I will start the meeting with apologies, and on two different grounds. I am only sitting here representing the chairman of your company, Mr. Wole Abegunde, who is unavoidably absent. There are things relating to health that he had to deal with, and I've been asked to sit in for him to conduct the affairs today. The second apology is actually to crave your indulgence, notwithstanding the fact that virtual representation is now formally allowed according to the regulations. A good number of our directors are also not physically present, but they are all virtually present. And I will be craving your accommodation, your indulgence, when we get to the stage where we need to introduce them, particularly some of the requesters will be seeking your kind approval. So please bear in mind the circumstances that have made it difficult for them to be physically present here with us. With that, my name is Afolabi Oladele. I have just said that the chairman of the board of directors, Mr. Wole Abegunde, is unavoidably absent today and sends his sincere apologies. The chairman, with the concurrence of other members of the board of directors, nominated me to chair today's AGM. We will now just take the national anthem as we all stand to do what is right for our country. The national anthem, please. Thank you. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been informed by the company secretary that a quorum is duly formed for today's meeting. Again, I welcome you to the 19th annual general meeting of your company, eTransact International PLC. I confirm that the statutory registrar are available for inspection by members in compliance with the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020. Please allow me to introduce other directors of the company, some of whom are joining us virtually. I'll start from my right. To my right is the CEO of the company, Mr. Niyi Toluwalope. Immediately to my left is our a company secretary, Mrs. Uloma Okoro, although not a director. And next to her, excuse me, Mr. Hakeem Adeniji Adele, the Deputy Managing Director of the company. Mr. Victor Etoku, who you all know, is present with us virtually. Victor is in transit as we speak. I'm not sure if he's online to be able to say hello to you. But Victor? Thank you. I have already introduced the company secretary. Members of the audit committee present, welcome Mr. Dominic Ichaba, to your left. Mr. Matthias Dafoe, and my friend, Mr. Robert Ibekwe. The external auditors are also present, Messrs. Ernst & Young, and sitting to your left, we have Mr. Kanayo, Mr. Kanayo Echena and Cherifdeen Adebaki. Our registrars, Meristem registrars, represented by Mr. Olusheyi Owoture. Representatives of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Amaka Okechukwu, you're welcome, ma'am. The representative of the Corporate Affairs Commission, we're still waiting for them. And the representative of NGS Regulation Limited, Mr. Bonaventure Owuji. Thank you, you're welcome. Will the company secretary please read the notice convening the meeting?
Good afternoon, distinguished shareholders, proxies, directors present, and regulators. Please permit me to read the notice of today's annual general meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 19th annual general meeting, AGM of eTransact International PLC, the company, will hold at the function room, 4th floor, Fortune Towers, 2729 Adeyemo Alakija, Victoria Island, Lagos, on Thursday, 20th July 2023, which is today at 12 noon, to transact the following businesses. Ordinary business. 1, to lay before members the audited financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2022, together with the reports of the directors, auditor, and statutory audit committee thereon. 2, to elect and re-elect directors. 3, to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditor. 4, to disclose the remuneration of the managers. 5, to elect the shareholders' representative to the statutory audit committee. For special business, number 6, to consider and, if thought fit, pass the following resolutions as ordinary resolutions. To approve the remuneration of the non-executive directors, that in compliance with the rules of the Nigerian Exchange Limited governing transactions with related parties or interested parties, the general mandate given to the company to enter recurrent transactions with related parties for the company's day-to-day operations, including the procurement of goods and services on normal commercial terms, be and is hereby renewed. We have the procedure for voting by interested persons in line with the provisions of Rule 20, Rules Governing Related Party Transactions of Nigerian Exchange Limited. Interested parties have undertaken to ensure that their proxies, Representatives or associates shall abstain from voting on resolution 6 above. Mr. Chairman and distinguished shareholders present, please permit me to take notes 1 to 11 of this notice as read. Thank you very much. My name is Uloma Okoro and I sign for Park Solicitors. Thank you.
Thank you, Messrs. Park Solicitors. Distinguished shareholders, you will each have received your copy of the audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2022, the chairman's statement, the MD's CEO's statement, and the report of the directors and external auditor therein. With your permission, I will take as read. Thank you, sir. I will now call on the external auditors, Messrs. Ernst & Young, to present their report as contained in the annual report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, directors, distinguished shareholders. My name is Kana Yoichena, representing EY. With your kind permission, Mr. Chairman, shareholders, I will just go through the abridged version of the auditor's report contained on page 49 to 52. Thank you very much, sir. Independent auditor's report to the shareholders of eTranzact International PLC, report on the audit of the financial statements. We have audited the financial statements of eTranzact International PLC, the company, which comprised the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2022, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of eTranzact International PLC as at 31st December 2022, and of its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards, the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, and in compliance with the Financial Reporting Council Act number 6 of 2011. I take us to page 52, the last paragraph. Report on other legal and regulatory matters. In accordance with the 5th schedule of the Company and Allied Matters Act 2020, we confirm as follows. 1, we have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, we are necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the company insofar as it appears from our examination of those books. The company's statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts. This is signed by Jamiu Olakinson on behalf of Ernst & Young, dated 31st March 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Ernst & Young. May I now call on Mr. Dominic Ichaba, who is your representative on the Statutory Audit Committee, to present a report.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, directors of eTranzact PLC. Good afternoon, my fellow distinguished shareholders. Ladies and gentlemen, our report is on page 48 of the annual report. Report of the Statutory Audit Committee for the year ended 31st December 2022 to the members of eTranzact International PLC. In accordance with the provision of section 404, subsection 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we, the members of the Statutory Audit Committee of eTranzact International PLC, confirm that 1, In our opinion, the accounting and reporting policies of the company are in accordance with the legal requirements and agreed ethical practices. 2, we reviewed the plan and scope of both the external and internal audits, and we are satisfied that they reinforce the company's internal control. 3, we reviewed the audited financial statements of the company, and we are satisfied with the external auditor's report that they received management's cooperation and responses in the course of their audit. I signed on behalf of the audit committee. My name is Dominic Ichaba. Other members of the audit committee are Mr. Robert Ibekwe, representing us, shareholders, Mr. Matthias Dafo, representing shareholders, and 2 members of the board of directors, Mr. Afolabi Oladele, who is director, Mr. Uche Val Obi SEN, who is also a director. Thank you very much, distinguished shareholders and members of the board.
Thank you, Mr. Ichaba. The first item on the agenda is to lay before members the audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2022 and the reports of the directors and the auditors therein. The company's audited financial statements have been distributed to you. I now lay before you, distinguished shareholders, the audited financial statements of eTranzact International PLC for the year ended 31st December 2022. I would now request that if distinguished shareholders have questions and comments on the statement of accounts and the annual report, we will take them in order, and I would appeal to you in the interest of time that we limit this to about no more than 6. Yes, sir. 2 gentlemen have by show of hand. Let's start with him, and then we go to our distinguished shareholder on the second row. Please, with your name, introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Chairman, members of the board of directors, distinguished fellow shareholders. My name is High Chief Ajie Robert Igbe, a shareholder and also a member of Noble Shareholder Solidarity Association. Mr. Chairman, I want to tell you one thing. Because of the love I have in this company, made me to be attending this meeting annually. Otherwise, what I usually do every year, once I get annual report, I go through it. If I see that there's nothing like to declare a dividend, I will just carry that annual report, put it in the waste basket, and forget all about it. But because of the love I have in this company, eTranzact International PLC made me to continue to attend this meeting every year. Now, Mr. Chairman, having said that, let's go straight to the point. In the annual report, if I can refer you to pages 30 to 44, which concerns all about the corporate governance. I have gone through it, and I can tell you that they all are okay. You have very good corporate governance, and I want you to keep it up. But the only observation I want to make there is this. If you go to page 41, that is the audit committee attendance. I will tell you that I'm not okay with the attendance. If you have gone through the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission provision of corporate governance, you will find out that audit committee have to meet at least 4 times in a year and not 3 times. That 4 times, each of the attendants has to go do with, apart from any other item in the agenda of the meeting, has to do with the review of the audited account or unaudited account. And you know that unaudited and audited are 4 in the whole year. So before the company will submit the unaudited account or audited account to the exchange, the audit committee must have reviewed the account before it will be submitted, especially that of the audited one, which must have been done by the external auditors. It has to be after they have been audited the account. The audit committee have to approve it on their own before it goes to the exchange for further approval. So seeing this attendance, I'm not satisfied with the 3 times of the attendance. Now, having said that, let's go to page 55, which concerns yes, the real administrative expenses. Mr. Chairman, I want to tell you that I'm not really happy with the amount involved in the administrative expenses. I know that the inflation and the way things are now in Nigeria, things are going high. But at the same time, one has to consider certain things. A company that is not making much profit, spending this kind of money. In 2021, we spent 2.303 billion naira as expenses. Now, in 2022, we spent 3.543 billion naira as expenses. Mr. Chairman, if you look at the profit we made for the year, it does not worth it. When we are making 1-point-something billion as profit and we are spending 3-point-something billion, it doesn't look nice. I don't think it's a good administration. So something has to be done. In fact, if you go to page 73, we will see all these expenses, how they were fully analyzed. And that is why I'm saying that I'm not really happy. If you look at the expenses there, you can see that employee and the other related expenses alone took nearly 2 billion naira. Before we talk of others, it doesn't pay for a company that made only 1.74 billion naira as profit. Even if you look at the earning per share, it's just 16 kobo. So, Chairman, something has to be done on that. Then on page 56, that page 56 relates to trade and other receivables. If you look at that page, Mr. Chairman, you will see that we have, even though in the year 2021, it was reduced, but 671.2 million naira is not a joke. A company that is not making much profit, and we have this kind of outstanding. If you cannot go and collect it or send people to collect it, send me. I will go and collect it free of charge for you. I'm a shareholder of the company and I want my company to grow. So send me, I will go and collect. This kind of money is not a joke, even though it has been reduced in 2021, but notwithstanding, something has to be done. If you go to page 81, you see more of this, what I'm actually talking about. Now, Mr. Chairman, having said that, let's go to page 84. I want you to know that we are not all that happy with many things happening in this company. On page 84, 23, number 4. Number 4, 23, number 4. That's the last paragraph there. And that is something related to the fraudulent transaction by Smart Microsystem Limited. This issue has been coming up annually. I can say that for the past 3 years or so, this issue has been coming up. I'm not really happy. If this fraudulent transaction was done by Smart Microsystem, if this company is a subsidiary of this company, they should carry on the payment to the First Bank. It's not a business e-transact as the mother company should carry on. Why is it that we keep on paying part of this money? If you look at the whole thing now, apart from the 1.92 billion naira, you have paid a total of 3.82 billion naira to First Bank. You're saying that the reporting date, hence there was no balance due to First Bank again. Even if you have actually paid all the whole of this money, we are not happy because fraudulent transaction should not concern e-transact if this is done by this company we are talking about. The Smart Microsystem, or what they call themselves, shouldn't cause any something that we, the company, will now carry on. So last time, the chairman explained part of it. I wasn't satisfied with the explanation. Last 2 years, I wasn't satisfied with the explanation. This time around now, you are saying that the whole thing is over. Let me know more about it. If this company is a subsidiary of e-transact, it's no reason why we should carry on such a payment. And if it's not part of our company, they should carry on the business with the First Bank. I don't know how it concerns our company, e-transact. So whatever is done there, whatever is due to us has to be recovered. Let us have our own. Another person should not go to a bank, cause a fraudulent transaction, and expect our company to take charge of that. It's not done anywhere. So, Chairman, that is another one. Then I want you to go to page 97. If you go to page 97, you find out that this, even though is where we have what I can call 5-year financial summary, there is something there written, deposit for shares. This figure, 456.755 million naira, has been in this line for the past 5 years. I don't know how come this amount is involved. If at all you have deposited shares for money for shares, if you are not ready to buy the shares, put the money into the company's business. Let us use it to run the company's business and not to keep on leaving the money to be lying there every year. It continues to appear in our record. It doesn't look nice. Then another thing again I want to tell you in that place, at the same page, 97, under equity. I want you to understand this thing. Where I came from, in my own village, where I came from, we used to say that if you deny a child of meat, you can give that child a fish to keep him happy or make him happy. This is just a proverb. What I'm coming out with is to let you know that for the past 2 years or 3 now, we, the shareholders, invested our hard-earned money in this company, at least for the right issue that took place last time. When we bought that right issue, we expected that something would come out as a part of returns of our investment. But the right issue has taken place. Nothing has been paid to us since then, and nothing was forthcoming. This is why I am now giving you that proverb that if you don't give a child meat, give that child fish to make that child happy. In that case, I am suggesting that this share premium, which we have 7.374 billion naira, if you can capitalize part of it by giving us, if not at all, 1 for 10 bonus, that is a way of putting smile to the faces of the shareholders, so that these people who put in their hard-earned money in the name of right issue since long time and nothing was forthcoming. Once they see the right issue, the bonus given by the directors, they would be feel happy. Yes, the money I put in this company is not lost. At least something is coming. That's where you are not paying dividend. And you say, okay, let us give these people bonus. That 1 for 10 means a lot. 1 for 5, 1 for 1, 1 for 2, whatever figure ratio you may use is okay. But let it be in the name of right issue. People will feel happy that something has been done. So please, I want the board to look at that area to see something, that something must be done. You can't buy right issue. Even before the right issue, some of us were shareholders of this company. We put in our hard-earned money in this company. And when we are putting this in, we expect the returns of our investment. You cannot invest and nothing is forthcoming. Then you feel happy. No, but it's not done anywhere. So therefore, I want you, the board, to meet. Think of this area, even if it means calling an extraordinary general meeting. All of us who are shareholders will be there to approve it. But let it be that something is given to us to make us laugh, put a smile on our faces of us who put in our money in this company. Then finally, Mr. Chairman, I want you to, on pages 98 to 100, that is where we have unclaimed dividend. This area does not concern only the board or the management. It concerns all of us, we shareholders, everybody. If you look at this list, if you see anybody you know, you can tell the person, please go and collect your money. But one good thing in this thing is this. Anyone that gets to 12 years and is not claimed, you have every right to put the money back to the company and run the business, because the law has made it clear that after 12 years, you return the money back to the company. Therefore, all these names here, if they don't want money, the company wants the money. So once it is 12 years and they fail to come and collect it, you have every right to take the money, put it back to our business and run the business. While I'm saying finally is that I have mentioned about considering bonus issue. Another one again I want to consider is we had a 16 kobo earning per share. There is nothing wrong in saying, okay, these people, for long, we didn't give them anything. Let us give them 5 kobo per share as dividend. It can still be done if you call extraordinary general meeting for either giving us 5 kobo as a dividend, or you call us for extraordinary meeting to declare 1 for 10 or 1 for 5 or any figure at all in the name of bonus issue. That is a way of putting smile in the faces of all of us who put in our money in this company. So having said this, I want to thank you, the board, management, all of you, for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you very much, High Chief. May I crave the indulgence of my distinguished shareholders? Perhaps we should take all the questions so that we can manage the time, but we have taken note of everything you said, sir. High Chief. Ahead of you, we had him, and then it will be your turn. Please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Sonny Wosu.
I'm sorry, please.
My name is Sonny Wosu. I actually find it difficult to recognize you. If we are to go by the airport, they will not allow you to fly because of the picture here differs from the face. So
I'm aging.
It's always good to update pictures so that we understand that the man who is talking to us is the same man I'm watching. You see, I put question mark on your picture here. Mr. Chairman, it's a good thing that you are having unclaimed dividend list attached to this annual report. And I'm happy Sheyi is doing a good job. But the fact is that even the government are targeting this unclaimed dividend. It's no longer 12 years as we used to know. Now they pursue you. Some say 6 years. They ask you to bring whatever is as old as 6 years to them. We've tried our best to stop them, but yet they continue to punish shareholders. You can see what is happening. When they talk about the expenses, I look at just recently, the fuel price has gone up. And that's also a big expenses, a very big pressure on profitability of companies. We don't know where we're heading to. We thought bringing in this government, we understand the plight of poor masses, but today it's really fighting the masses. So we don't know where we are. We don't know tomorrow, the fuel price may get to 1,000 naira. I came all the way from Abia State to attend it because Uzoma will not let me rest. She was just calling. I left to you 7 a.m. this morning by air to get here because I feel I love the company. Wale is my friend. Uloma is my daughter. Sheyi is my guru, and so on and so forth. Like that. So I decided, as I'm sitting here, I'm feeling sleepy because we woke up at 3 a.m. in order to catch. Yeah. No, I was thinking when you come, I will just take over the hotel that you stay to rest. But however, Mr. Chairman, I feel pain that there is no dividend in this company. And I look at if you go to page 11, I may not be as extensive as Igwe because this time around I cut short my speeches, So if you go to page 11, it analyzes the operation of the company, page 11. There you will see, we have no reasons not to pay dividend. If you look at, it says gross profit, yes, fine. But operating profit, which is what we are talking about, is 378.87% above what it was previously. So I just think that with that, at least the directors should use the fiduciary powers to ensure that these shareholders also get something. It is very good. I'm not even talking about bonus, but although bonus is good, but whatever you think will be paid as dividend, give it to us first before we start thinking of bonus and how to service the bonus. So honestly, I am not really happy about that. And I made a statement here about it. I said, if we have returned a good result, which you have sent to us, why would we not pay dividend? So I am aligned with Robert Igwe's position that we ought to have paid something to the shareholders. And I look at this place too. We have a foreigner in our midst who is also attending meetings. I'm sorry, I saw Mr. Darfour here, and I know Darfour is Southern Sudan. And I can say I want to appreciate him for coming to meetings regularly from Southern Sudan. Sorry, I'm just trying to locate my, right? With 16 cover diluted earning per share. I think discretionarily the board should have done something. And that can be corrected. Like Igwe said, there's nothing wrong for us to have a extraordinary general meeting, which will not cost as much as annual general meeting is costing. The other thing I find very difficult to understand, when I saw my name as a president, and this issue of proxy, we have stopped this since 1st of June this year. I don't know how it came on, but I know Uloma is a very fine knowledgeable company secretary. She has her reasons of doing it that way. Because I heard her when she was talking that the meeting was to be postponed and all this and that. But I think we stop this. I hope the regulators will not penalize us. Because what I hate is this penalty. You see NGS, as they are regulating companies, companies are paying dividend, but NGS has not paid any dividend. You know, these are some of the things that doesn't augur well for. Mr. Chairman, I want us to go to page 94 under contingent liability and contingent assets. That is about this building that we are. I think we have to update the information to shareholders on this. We want to know if our principal had paid 907 million naira and there's a refund of either 450 million naira. But I think this information is still, there is need for us to have the current information to know and feel very happy that this building is ours. We are staying in our building. It's very important. And when you also go to this very painful page of First Bank issue. So I think we need to be updated too about the current thing on this so that we won't be asking wild questions. When we're updated, we will know what to do. But I do not know why we are taking the responsibility. Somebody else made a mistake. Somebody else is paying for it. In this case, you know, why is the risk on us? I really don't know. So I always believe in this Yoruba adage, which says, "Baby I believe in it. If we are not involved, we should leave them to sort out their problem and sucking the blood in us to solve this problem. Have we bought over this Smart Micro System Limited? Is it our company? If it's our company and genuinely they made a mistake, which is robbing us of this, I can understand that. But if it's not ours, they should be able to face their problems and leave us out of it. A lot of money are gone into this. We are talking about billions of naira are gone into this. And if First Bank has its way, they'll continue to take. They don't care about all those things because we have fallen into a trap which needed to have been avoided. So historically, we should be able to know who are these people, what involves us with them, or how are they involved? How are we involved into taking this kind of responsibility? So, Mr. Chairman, I do not think, because ordinarily, I had traveled when this annual report was sent to me, because they called me. Your people called, but I had traveled at that time. So I may not be able to discuss it extensively like Robert Igwe did. But the little things that I've seen here are the basis of my question, to be able to know more about what is going on here. So I also want to appreciate the management for even bringing up something that has a profit in this country today. It's not easy. Administrative issue is a problem in this country. It is a problem. And I used to doff my hat for any company that provides profit because it's really not easy. Everywhere is jammed up. That when Fela spoke about Wahala, long time ago, people said, this rascal, what is it of? All that he said then has come to pass. We are really in rough times. How do we get out of it? So it's a problem, but we continue to pray that God will help us to get out of it. But the most important thing is that anybody that invested must look forward to get a reward from the investment. And that's why I am not happy with federal government for not releasing money to those that imported their dollars to establish business here. The benefit of it is that you exported naira into this country, or rather you imported, you brought in money which means exported, that you must also import your profit so that you'll be happy. So again, Mr. Chairman, our business is a very delicate business. And we need more clients to be able to make profit. The truth of the matter today is that so many people do not even have card. That is POS card to transfer because they are afraid because of so many fraudulent things that have been happening. So we must try to bring up card that can protect those people who are having fear, to remove their phobia. I know people that say, no, I can't. Tomorrow they take more money from their money that they expect they wanted. And the banks are not helping. The banks will tell you, well, we do. I had an occasion. My daughter-in-law made a bill for me for my drug, 100,000. The next moment, they took another 100,000 from her account. And I called the bank because we all have relationship with all these banks. They said, sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. We've been fighting. It's an industry problem. But if we are providers of all this, we must find a way to checkmate those things. I'm bringing this because it's a painful thing that people can access people's account and take money from me, and there's no way to get a refund. So therefore, that person will never want to have a card to do business. So please, we should find a way to reduce this crime through card, since we are providing them with a machine and all this and that. So, Mr. Chairman, I think that's the few things that I have to contribute on this occasion.
Thank
And
you
I also
very
want
much.
to say again that the company secretary's name did not appear on the notice sign. Somebody else did that. In fact, the S and Young is somebody else that did that, even though they said X and Young. The law is saying that whoever is signing the account should put his or her name there. Let me show you the notice of meeting is on page what? Page 15. You see, this one is Isaiah, and this one is a woman, this one is a man. So we need to be very careful on all these things, because this paper is going further than your legs can reach. So it's very important. And you go to auditor's report, even though he asks you to protect him by saying, Chairman, I'm taking permission from you to read an abridged version. No, Chairman has no hand in this. It is purely shareholders' affairs. So they should correct all these things. And Mr. Chairman, finally, you see, when we open an account of a company, and we are seeing Owambe, and those that owns the company are not getting any money to buy even a drink, we feel bad about it. Look at the Owambe there. When you open there, you will see there's a table that was filled with champagne and all this and that. It cannot be pocket money that did all this. It cannot be pocket money. So, Niyi, just look at the lighter page, the lighter picture, second row, the one you can see that. You can see a wine tray, ice block tray there. And it's always a champagne that can be chilled in this kind of thing. So we need to be very careful. I saw it and I felt somehow that, I am not getting any cover from my investment, but this is enjoyment that have been created for outsiders who are not even shareholders. You will not tell me that they are stakeholders. Even if they are stakeholders, we need to check certain things. We need to check certain things.
Thank you very much, sir. If you don't mind, please, in the interest of time, because we need to answer all these questions and answer them satisfactorily. So we take.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, you have not stopped me. I'm done.
Oh,
you have not stopped me.
Thank you, Chief.
The interim chairman. And I'm sure that you are used to the terminology interim. Very distinguished fellow shareholders, other directors, For the records, my name's Nona Ao. Mr. Chairman, I came in through this, we drove in through here. And the security man there was curious as to where we are going. So I had to come down. But if I tell you that I'm happy with what I saw around the generator area, I'll be lying. That place, the spill there is worse than what we've seen in Ogoniland. And that for me raises concern. We don't pray for a fire. That place is not a place, shouldn't be in the state in which it is. So please, let's join the other tenants in this building to make sure that place does not become the eyesore that is currently looking like. Having said that, Mr. Chairman, I looked at the accounts starting from page 4 that talked about the list of directors. Looked at page 14 that talks again about incoming directors, which is also extended in terms of profile on page 27 to 29, as well as page 31. And I'm wondering, and none of the description there talked about any director being independent. And I'm wondering, as a company, what is the upper limit of directors that we can have? Because the reason I ask that is that if you look at page 31, you have a situation where 4 directors are going out and we are bringing in 7 new directors, and none of them, from my understanding of what I've seen here, is representing the minority. So what is the crime that the minority have committed that they can't have? Because we also have the opportunity of saying, okay, let's suspend the 7 new directors that are coming in until you also give us our own representative. But it's something that this company must do. Because if we don't, then it then becomes a situation where the majority are marginalizing further the minority. And no system works well in that setup. But I also think that going forward, looking at page 33 and 34, the blocks holding is not displaying or indicating who the representatives are. You only have 2 of them clearly disclosed. So going forward, it may be necessary that when you write the profile, you should also indicate which of the blocks is that person representing. Like I said, some of you, 3 of you really were mentioned, but I don't think that should be where it should end. Or looking at page 55, and that's where I started to sympathize with Igwe. If we have 2.7 billion in losses, I think the question we should be asking you, how do we want to clean it up? And I know that given that we have a regulatory string with CBN, the best you can do is also bring in a motion asking that we convert part of the premium in canceling the losses, because otherwise, I'm not sure the regulators will allow you to pay any dividend. So it is something that you need to have a discussion around and then discuss with CBN, and then you come back to us, Otherwise, let it cry from here till thy kingdom come. Even when all the waters in his body are finished, the dividend will not come if you don't do what is necessary. So don't allow Igwe to continue to cry, I beg. Huh? But looking at page 72, which for me is an indication of the future, I'm not too certain how to interpret. Yes, we have an increase in revenue, but if you look at airtime, the contribution of airtime literally dropped. And if airtime continue to drop, what is likely to happen is that the bottom line will also be further hit. So the bottom line may also drop. So what are we likely to do differently without exposing your internal strategy as to how we can grow that airtime component so that the bottom line can also continue to enjoy the benefit that we hope that will come our way. But if you then relate all of this to what you have on page 75 and 87, talking about director's fee, given the number of directors that you are bringing forward now, 3 additional, what is the assurance that cost of servicing the boards may also not become a burden? And if you're wondering why I'm raising that, if you look at page 35, you haven't disclosed what the director's fees are that you're asking us to approve. Same on page 13. But on page 35, you have vacation fee, which you have also not disclosed how much and when is it payable. But I must also say that you are one of the very few companies who wait for the AGM before you are taking your director's fee. What we find very many times is that the directors will have collected even the money before the AGM. So we want to commend you, but please disclose how much we are paying you. By the way, it's our money. True of us. So if it's our money, we should know how it's spent. And the other area that I also think that we need to talk around, okay, it talked about, you already talked about the receivables, but I'm concerned about the 538 million impaired. All of it will not be lost, but it's important that you speak as to what you're doing so that that money does not go down the drain. Unclaimed dividends is also being spoken about, page 98 to 100. However, if you have an unclaimed dividend that is not arranged alphabetically, it throws people's interest off. And so, which means that you expect me to read all through the 3 pages. But if you have them alphabetically, I can say, oh, my son name is A, and I go and look at A. If I don't see A, I know that the money is not missing. But the way it is, so please, Company Secretary, in conjunction with the registrar, make sure that what you are going to publish next year, should you decide to publish it, I will encourage you to publish it. It should be in alphabetical order. Mr. Chairman, let me close on the notes of what you have in this account. The first is a publicly quoted company. It's traded on daily basis on the market. But from beginning to end in this document, nowhere did you mention your share price. Nowhere. But I want to confirm to you that at the beginning of trade today, I'm still following the market. Your share price got to 9 naira 15 kobo. So if you let Igwe know that, he would then know that you didn't give chicken, you didn't give turkey, you didn't give meat, neither did you give fish, but you gave crayfish. And that itself can But if he doesn't think comfortable with crayfish, I'm sure you can find him at Jayoyo from this price. From this. But on a serious note, I think you should optimize your position by indicating. If I were to advise you, I'll ask that you go to your 5-year summary and put the closing price on yearly basis in that bottom. That way people understand the direction that the company is going. But let me also close by saying that the pictures that you have displayed, if I don't know anybody there, that picture is just a shared field of space. So it may be necessary that you must put pictures of the activity that you have as indicated on page 9 and 10, that it should be captioned. It should be captioned. Because I'm sure even some of your staffers who didn't attend any of these will be wondering what is it all about. Okay. And on a final note, Mr. Chairman, the reason I like coming to AGM is that I also come to learn. And one of the things I've learned today is the question or the issue that was raised by the first speaker. That is not laughing because there is no dividend. So it may be necessary that you tell us when dividend will come. But if dividend is not going to come next year, please, when you are coming, make sure that you bring laughing gas for Igwe, so that before he leaves here, he will certainly will laugh. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Please permit me, if you kindly will take one more question because one of the things that over the last 5 years that I've been on this board, the depth of knowledge of our distinguished shareholders and the painstaking way in which you go through our account statements speaks much that we prepare ourselves because we know you have genuine concerns and questions to raise. So I'll take one more question or comment and then we'll proceed to answer. Mr. Ewo, thank you very, very much. Okay, there's no other hand up. Okay, so I'll take some of the questions and then the others I will also pass on to the CEO. But let me speak to your concern with respect to the attendance at a statutory audit committee meeting. You will observe in that table, because changes happened in the middle of the year. Some of the directors that you understood left and new directors came in. And while we are waiting for the approval of those new directors, still pending with the CBN, they couldn't formally attend meetings. That's why you found in the name of my distinguished colleague, the erudite lawyer, who was not listed as being present, but is one of the new directors that we are going to be seeking your approval, your confirmation from. And then in terms of the number of meetings that we had, 3 instead of 4, in the course of the year, given the so many things that this management has done, the burden for them in driving the business to the level that you see today sometimes gets in the way of the preparation for meetings. But I can assure you that things are being done to make sure that that changes. We will hold all the statutorily demanded committee meetings, and barring any personal issues with any of the representatives, we are all committed to ensuring that we are present and we are running the business that you have given us authority to run. That's one. You spoke about operating expenses. Those who are familiar with the tech space know that this is the area where the Japa syndrome has practically wiped out many organizations. Extremely competitive, that if we have to retain the people who are running this business, who have made the dramatic turnaround that this company has experienced, we can, if like they say, if you only offer granules, you will get monkeys. But these gentlemen are highly prized in the market. Some of the most prolific changes that we have seen have come from this management that took over between Niyi, Hakim, Layi, the new the CTO. And it's not just money that's being paid away. We need the best staff in a very competitive space. And to the question that you raised, and I'm so delighted that Mr. Ewo really hits the nail on the head. Whether we are speaking of conversion or share premium, whichever way you look at it, we need CBN's approval. What has happened, and I'm delighted that you've seen the profile of growth of your company in terms of profitability. 2022 is the highest ever since eTransat came. We have been clawing our way out of deficit. And until our retained earnings go from negative to positive, CBN is not even going to listen to us. But I can say to you, we are very close to clawing ourselves out of that. We are very, very close. Thanks to this gentleman, we've come, and all our expectation is that this second half of the year, we will cross that terrible Rubicon that Smart Micro led us into. And without making any promises, God helping us, it may be a different story next year. We are very, very close. Once we traded out of this negative retained earnings, we will go back to the CBN. And I'm happy our regulators are also here. It will be a different story. Let me take those two that I consider most critical, and then Nee, you want to speak to the host of other things. Smart Micro, you're first, because that.
Okay, thank you. Distinguished shareholders, the issue of Smart Micro happened several years ago. And it was an issue that the central bank, the chief regulator of the industry, evaluated, and based on their findings, decided to apportion the fraud loss to the two institutions involved, First Bank and eTranzact. And CBN's decision was final. That is why we have had to take our own portion of that loss. Now, that loss has been fully paid off. The reason why it's here in the 2022 financials is because of financial reporting, where you do prior year comparison. The last payment was done in 2021, no payment in 2022. And by the time we present 2023 financials, the issue of Smart Micro is gone forever. Now, let me establish and make a correction. Smart Micro is not a subsidiary of, sir? Yes, Smart Micro is not a subsidiary of eTranzact in any way or any form. Smart Micro was a customer of First Bank who used an eTranzact solution in First Bank to defraud them. Our own issue is it's a solution that was deployed in First Bank that was used. That is all. And based on CBN's evaluation, both parties should bear the loss. Simple. And it's done and it's resolved. The issue on rights issue valuation, I think Mr. Awo had even helped us to address this. Share trading today is at 9.15 or 9.50, and rights issue was bought at 150. That's 6 times capital appreciation that we can also allude to while we work towards recovery and start receiving dividends, hopefully, like Mr. Chairman has said, in the next year. So these are things that are of very paramount to us, that we are also considering and trying to do everything to ensure that the company is fully transformed and we go back to a dividend paying company like we have been in the past. And with regards to cybersecurity, we've learned a lot from Smart Micro, and we have invested a lot in cybersecurity. Our company has taken all the necessary certifications, PCI DSS, all the necessary business risk certifications to ensure that our operating processes and the evolution we're seeing in the market, we're fully compliant, and our processes and products and solutions and services are fully secure from cyber attacks. So we have taken that into consideration, and all the solutions and products we roll out will also sit in that framework to ensure that the risk of cybersecurity is significantly reduced. It's an evolving thing, so we also continue to engage, we even engage ethical hackers sitting outside to try to penetrate and tell us what they see and what we can do better. And that's something that constantly happens. So this is something worthy of note. And thank you very much for that very insightful question. It's something we really take seriously. I think there are 2 more questions on the airtime. Okay, Mr. Hours. The building, yes. Yeah, the update on the building, status quo, no change. It's still the way it is. We're still part owners of this building, which goes back to the issue of deposit of shares you mentioned. So the structure of the ownership of the building is we invested in the company that owns the building to the tune of the number of floors we own. So that deposit of shares is the shares we own in the company that owns the building. So invariably, we own that percentage of the building, which is more than 50% of the building. So it's our building, and it's your building, and everything we need to do, we'll do to ensure that there's no bad situation for us at all. Now, on the issue of the airtime drop that Mr. Awo raised, the airtime business is a low margin business. And our emphasis now is on high margin transactions that will help transform the company and create more profitability to pay dividend. That is why airtime commissions are dropping, but other switching and electronic payment commissions are higher. So a lot of business focus is in that aspect of the business, so we can make more money and grow. So that's the focus on that. And I think to that extent, I think I've addressed all the so that's an issue that involves not just us, it involves all tenants. So we have taken his point, and I think we'll take all the necessary steps to ensure that whatever potential fire hazard risk that may come out of that place is fully minimized. But we have taken all the necessary steps as part of our certification for us to even be able to operate as an electronic payment company. There are certifications we must have that must enforce that fire safety hazards are fully complied with, and across our offices and in key areas of the premises where we have control over, we have put all the necessary firefighting and fire safety installations there. So we believe that we just need to, expand that to the general thinking of the occupiers of this building. I think that's Mr. Chairman. I think I'm done with the questions.
Thank you. There are three more points, and then we will close this and move forward. First of all, you spoke about the level of our receivables. The nature of our business, a significant amount of our work is with government, collecting, making payments, and so on. And as it is with government business, we have not lost one kobo, but they're always delaying payments. So there are times when a year will end and we don't get full recovery until the first quarter of the next year. It's technically what auditors call unexpected, expected credit loss, but we've not lost a kobo. But it's always recorded under receivables, but it eventually gets paid. I think it's important for you to understand that. There are questions that have been raised with respect to disclosures on board remuneration. What your company has done is to look at the benchmark of what prevails in the industry. We have UPS as our competitors, we have InterSwitch, there are at least 7 of them. And you have houses like KPMG who are actually commissioned to look across industry and see what is the pay, whether it is with respect to staff or whether with respect to members of the board. This board has not had a change in remuneration for the 5 years it has been on the board until management saw it fit that, look, things must change because you can see what the comparatives are. And that's why you see the change that you have. In terms of details, we note your point in terms of if you want the disclosure, there's nothing hidden. You can check them, get KPMG's reports and see where we stand. Even with the change, this board is still below the average that you find across directors that are working in the payment space. And I thought I should explain that. With respect to numbers, I don't have a problem if you demand it of your boss. Yes. Ulama is just telling me that it's actually disclosed in the chairman's notes. So we have no issues with that at all. And I think to my brother Wonsu's questions, the pictures that you saw were pictures that related to our CSR, which is a necessary part of our business. This is a people's business. We need to retain the interest of the people, and we will begin to put captions on them so that it's clear. Where you saw the tree was actually a seminar that was done. This management is very prudent with their money, I can tell you that. And by the time you are looking at 2023 accounts, you would even see the way our costs are trending down because of the very competitive space that we are in. Regulators are not, I'm sorry, NGS, it's not you I'm targeting here, but regulations, overbearing regulations is killing our business. And we rose from the board meeting this morning incensed about new things that our principal regulator is bringing in. But we will survive. We will fight to survive. Thank you very much. I don't think. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I made two suggestions. Yes, the observation I want to make is that I made two suggestions. And I expected you to answer me yes or no, but you did not say anything. One is, I said, if it is possible to call extraordinary general meeting to see the possibility of giving us a bonus, even if it is 1 for 10 also. He didn't tell me anything of that. The second one, suggestion I make again is that if we had an per share of 16 kobo, that if you can, the board can decide to say, okay, let us pay 5 kobo as a sort of dividend to make people, the shareholders, laugh or put smile on their face. The two suggestions, you didn't even say anything on them.
I did.
Does it mean it is now like that?
Igwe, I did. And I, whether you are talking of bonus shares or whatever extraordinary, we have to have CBN approval. The singular issue that has held us back. My colleagues are here. Even the share premium, we had talked to them about, look, can we convert some of this share premium? The answer is no. I know of a bank that tried to do that. I wouldn't mention the names, but until you trade your way out of what I spoke about in terms of retained earnings, we have been negative in our retained earnings for the last 3 years. 3 years on account of this smart micro issue. And that's why I answered you. I said, we are very close. We are not out of it, but we are very close. We are very, very close. And yes, sir.
To actually review the outcome of a AGM. So the chairman cannot just openly say, we will do this. It's not possible. You know, I'm a chairman of a board. It's not possible. They have to go back, review all that came out of, and see what is doable. Because if he says anything that is not doable, it becomes a commitment on his side. So let them go back and look at those things we have raised here. In fact, one of the points raised by one of us here is that we should restructure the balance sheet itself by using money on to clear the deficit. If we have enough money, we can clear the deficit, and that will clear the way for us to pay dividend. So let the board go back.
That's a great, I mean, I didn't even think of, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's
What I want to say about the other one that you raised is that we can
Okay.
yes, Mr. Chairman, receivables. You can give us a better understandable information on receivable. When in the annual report, you give us the scaling of the receivable, that we know that some money may come in late and it will not reduce the receivable. You just tell us in the annual report that this is the life of the receivable, 3 months, 6 months, then we will understand that you are still in line with such a thing than lumping everything together that will look very big before us. Definitely we'll have to complain about it. Since we have a debt collector in our midst, he'll be very happy to see such a thing. So just give us the state of the receivable, the life of the receivable. You know, we'll be able to understand that.
Thank you. On a final note, on the independent directors that was raised, in the profile of yes, maybe going forward we'll do better and emphasize as a header, but in the last bullet points of the directors that have been introduced, it's stated there who the non-independent executive directors are. And so on page 3.
Okay, thank you very much, distinguished shareholders, for your questions. And I hope we've gone some way in assuring you. If I may defer to my brother Nwosu, until a woman marries a second husband, you won't know whether which one is better. But I can say that this crop of management that took over, they are committed, they're brilliant, and they're working their backsides out. And one can say, you can see the numbers in the earnings per share. What Mr. Awo said, right on the bottom. If you look at the way our share prices have moved, at the last that I checked, it was 841. I didn't know it had gone beyond 9, and we pray that it gets better. So, with your permission, sirs, I'd like to move on to the next item of the agenda. Well, following the conclusion of the last capital raise, some of the directors resigned from the board. Consequently, since the last annual general meeting, the board has been reconstituted and 7 new directors have been appointed to the board subject to the approval of the CBN. Mr. Awo rightly pointed to the point with respect to independent directors, which was one of the things that we were marked down on as a company by the regulators. And that was what informed the drive that you saw. The directors that you have listed here, Mr. Chukwuma Ajene, who had apologized profusely on their behalf at the beginning of that, they are not here physically. 2 are here physically. Mr. Chukwuma Ajene, whose name you have listed and his profile is there. Ms. Awabelo, please, she's present with us physically. Mr. Benjamin Dabra, please sit down. If you look on the screen, Mr. Benjamin Dabra is actually waving at you. A brilliant strategist, both himself and Chuma. And Chuma, they bring with them a wealth of experience from the banking industry, as well as in terms of strategic planning. You have Ms. Binta Masbilije. She's also there, waving at you on the screen. You have Mr. Uche Val Obi, a distinguished lawyer. As of this morning, he was actually in court. I don't know if he's been able to join us. My learned brother, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I've been able to join. Good afternoon, shareholders, esteemed shareholders, and good afternoon, members of the board and management.
Thank you. And then we have General Emeka Onwamebu, who has been with us from the beginning. General, please, can we see your face and can you wave at that's him? And lastly, we have a new technical director, I will put it, who together with these guys they've done wonders in terms of the new platform that we are building that enables us to do a lot more. Mr. Laiwola Okwala, who is also there. Their profiles are contained at pages 31 to 34 of the annual report. In order to save time, and if, with your permission, wish to elect the 7 directors by a single resolution, would a member please rise and propose such a motion? Thank you, Sir Igwe. Thank you, sir. Well, you know him. If you, for the purpose of the records, Hi, Chief. Yes, sir. Okay.
I so propose a motion.
So will someone please second that motion, please? Thank you. Please with your name so that for records, Mr. Nwosu.
Thank you. My name is Sir Sonny Nwosu.
Thank you very much.
FOID, and so on and so forth. So I support the motion.
Thank you, sir. Will all those in favor of the motion should please indicate by raising their right hands? Thank you, sir. All those against the motion? Yes. Okay. I declare the motion unanimously carried, and we'll go on. I will now present the directors. We have already given the names of all the directors, and just for the records, thank you. I move the appointment of Mr. Chukwuma Ajene, Ms. Awabelo, Mr. Benjamin Dabra, Ms. Binta Max Binije, Mr. Uche Valobi, San, Major General Emeka Onwamebu, retired, and Mr. Olayiwola Okola to the Board of Directors of eTranzact International be and is hereby approved. Will someone please move that motion?
Since the mic is still here, do that.
Thank you, sir.
Since the mic is still here.
Mr. Nwosu has moved.
Sir Nwosu.
Sir Nwosu, thank you. Will someone please second this motion? Thank you, sir. The minority interest issue. Thank you very much. We have, first of all, satisfied a major issue by the regulators. The board itself is now introducing a tenor system where, according to the shareholder, the articles of association, there is a tenor that every member of the board can stay. At the expiration of such tenor, we will ensure, in looking for directors, competent directors to fill the positions, we will take note of what Mr. Awo has raised with respect to minorities and the representation. But we'll take this back to the board, and it's something that we will work on. I hope that answers you, sir. Okay. So, I declare the motion carried. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Based on the votes cast at this meeting, the following directors have been appointed as directors on the board of eTranzact International, subject to the approval of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Again, I name them: Mr. Chukwuma Ajene, Ms. Awabelo, Mr. Benjamin Dabra, Ms. Binta Max Binije, Mr. Fal Uche Obi, San, and my General Emeka, I call him. But for the records, Major General Emeka Onwamebu, retired, and Mr. Olayiwola Okola. On your behalf, I congratulate them. The next item on the agenda, yes, sir. Well, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the re-election of retiring directors, Mr. Niyi Toluwalokwe and Mr. Victor Etoku, are directors retiring by rotation in accordance with Section 285 of CAMA 2020. Mr. Niyi Toluwalokwe and Mr. Victor Etoku, being eligible and having indicated their willingness to stay in office, be hereby present themselves for re-election. In order to save time, if you so approve, to elect these two directors by a single resolution, would the member please rise and propose such a motion?
Agbola Sunday supported motion.
Thank you. Mr. Agbola Sunday supports I Chief Igwe. And all those in favor of the motion should please indicate by raising their right hands. All in favor? Thank you. If anyone is against, by show of hand, can we please see? Thank you, sir. I declare this motion unanimously carried. I now present the directors one by, well, that's been done. I hereby move that Mr. Victor Etoku, being a director, retiring and presenting himself for re-election at this meeting, be and is hereby re-elected as a director of eTransact International PLC. I also move that Mr. Ni Toluwalope, being director, retiring and presenting himself for re-election at this meeting, be and hereby re-elected as a director of eTransact International PLC. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Based on the votes cast at this meeting, both Messrs. Etoku and Toluwalope, having presented themselves for re-election at this meeting, are hereby re-elected as directors of eTransact International PLC. Will someone please second this motion? Thank you, sir. Mr. Nwosu. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. No, I said we are now, the board is now incorporating that once that is done, it will be reported on at our next. I know.
We have to know the tenor system in place.
Well, typically,
so that we will always remind you.
No.
That's, I know.
Both CAMA as well as CBN regulations demand that there be a tenor. And it's typically 3 tenors of 3 years. And we're doing everything to just conform to, to comply. We're doing everything to comply, and that is something that will be done. So. We pray so, including what we all of us, including yourselves, all of us. Well, the next item on the agenda is to authorize the board of directors to fix the remuneration of the auditor. Section 408 of CAMA 2020 requires that the remuneration of auditors be fixed by the company in general meeting or such manner as the company in general meeting may determine. I hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to fix the remuneration of the auditors of the company. I would want someone to please second this motion. Okay.
I second the motion, Chief Robert Igbe.
Okay. I now call on the register. Oh, there. I declare this motion carried. The next item on the agenda is to disclose the remuneration of managers. This is a requirement under the section 238 and 257 of CAMA. I'm sorry, that already has been disclosed in note 31 at page 89 of the 2022 annual report. The next item on the agenda is the election of shareholders representatives on the audit committee. The audit committee is a requirement of section 404 of CAMA 2020 and in compliance with section 404 subsection 3 of CAMA 2020. The company's audit committee is comprised of 3 representatives of shareholders and 2 directors. The board has appointed to the committee myself and Mr. Uche Valobi San, who is one of the newly elected directors whose appointments we are now waiting for CBN's approval. The following have been nominated for election to the audit committee: Mr. Dominic Ichaba, Mr. Robert Adinuba Ibekwe, Mr. Matthias Dafoe, Mr. David Olabanji Isaac, Mr. Adebayo Oluwafemi Abayomi. I present these candidates for election. Please note that you can only vote 3 times. In other words, you can only vote once each of the, you can only vote for once each of the 3 candidates. The first candidate is please. Matthias, Robert, Dominic, please. Mr. Olabanji Isaac, is he here? Oh.
Just learned this morning that the remaining 2 people have withdrawn.
Oh. May I then seek your approval that the 3 of them, Mr. Dominic?
The 3 of them are hereby re-elected.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, the 3 of them are hereby elected as members of the audit committee.
Thank you very much, sirs.
Now you know the grammar.
And may,
go sit down, Jerry.
yes, sir.
Apologies to the lawyers in-house. One of the things they tell you is that they don't know mathematics. But when you don't pay their legal fee correctly, so the son that you have brought, I hope you understand arithmetic.
Son, I mean, I can say that son is a great value addition to us. The issue, I hear you. I hear you. Yes, sir. Yeah. This is a special resource of the day. So I congratulate these members for their appointment. Yes, sir.
They have been elected. You have to move that all the 5 members of the audit committee, that's including the directors,
yes, sir,
are hereby elected. Then we have to approve it before you pass to the next item in the agenda.
I stand corrected. Okay. May I then propose that a motion for the appointment of all the 5? Can you please stand and remain standing? The 5 of us. Where is son? Son?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'm answering.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I have a motion then that all the 5 be re-elected to serve on the statutory audit committee, sir?
Seconded by me. Seconded by Chief Robert Igwe. He has removed the appointment.
Thank you very much.
You can go to the next item.
Yes, I know. So the special business, ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to the special businesses. The first special business on the agenda is to approve the remuneration of the non-executive directors. And Mr. Ewo rightly mentioned it, we would not as much as do anything without getting your consent. Section 293(1) of CAMA empowers the shareholders to approve the remuneration of directors. The remuneration of directors is disclosed at page 35 and in note 8 of page 73, at page 73 of the annual report. I hereby move that the remuneration of directors as disclosed be approved. Is there someone? Yes, sir.
Name the figure that you want the shareholders to.
I had given you.
Page 35 does not say anything about
the specific
10 naira.
numbers.
You know.
Nick, can you help?
More importantly, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
you have added 3 additional directors.
yes.
So even if we look at that page, it will giving us the summary of the number less 3.
The two are that's quite correct. But in
So-
terms of the unit numbers, can you please look at page 73 of your. '73, not 8. You guys have the things in color. Yes, this is the block number. They are speaking of the do you have that? I know that for board sittings, I don't have that number of you. The auditors are there. I am the corner. The chairman, I know that for board meetings, it's 400,000. For other members, 300,000. The committee meetings are lower. Those are the ones I remember offhand. But how do we deal with this? No, there are 4. Let's just do a quick calculation. There are 4 meetings in a year. It's not broken down in the manner in which they're speaking about. This is just a lump sum. It's just a lump sum. That's page 73. Directors' remunerations, fees, and expenses are 216. So it's the breakdown. It's made up of board sitting, committee sitting, and you also have the annual fees, annual allowance. What are the numbers associated? Yes.
These are the existing figure we have before now.
Yes.
Now I mentioned that we are not
Adding 2
3 additional
directors. Yes.
Now, cumulatively, we have not known how much involved. What we are seeing here is just what you had before.
2022.
2022.
2023.
2023, we have not known anything about it. Are you not telling us that this figure remains what it is, or then the next meeting we now hear the total figure for all of you, including the 3 coming directors?
Please.
To now say that because director's fee is something very important to shareholders, but
yes,
let's just say that the incoming directors will not earn more than the current directors.
No, I mean, that's understood.
And the current directors by next AGM, they will tell us what each director will earn as director's fee per year.
It's fine.
It's the yearly thing, so that we can move on and finish
Okay.
it.
Carried. Say carried. if that language is permitted. But as I explained to you, both for staff compensation as well as directors' remuneration, there is a reference point in terms of industry study that is done by KPMG. Is the standard that is accepted across the entire industry in Nigeria. And even at that, what has been proposed for this year for directors is below what is there. And being a chairman of a board, I'm sure you can have access to No, no.
Yes.
I can tell you this board doesn't, nobody earns anything. Okay. Thank you. So what am I? Will a member second this motion, sir? Thank you very, very much. We have noted your points and we will take it on board, and at the next time we are reporting, we will know. Okay. I now call on the registrars to, no, there was no vote. There was no vote. The second special business of the agenda is the resolution to approve related party transactions. I hereby move that in compliance with the rules of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, governing transactions with related parties or interested parties, the general mandates given to the company to enter recurrent transactions with related parties for the company's day-to-day operations, including the procurement of goods and services on normal commercial terms, be and is hereby renewed. Will a member please second this motion? What's that?
Second.
Thank you, sir. All right. I declare motion carried. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the close of businesses to be considered at this meeting. On behalf of the chairman, Mr. Wale Abegunde, the board and management of your company, I thank you all for taking the time to attend this meeting and for actively participating in the affairs of the company. May God continue to bless our joint efforts to move this company forward. Please continue your support. I will, sir. Your support is absolutely necessary for us to continue. And I've seen the demonstration of that here today. Thank you very much, sirs and ma'ams. I now call on, perhaps we should have a lady now close us with a prayer. Oh, she's a regulator. Okay, ma'am.
Let's pray. In the name of the Almighty God, the most beneficent, the most merciful, the King, the compeller, the just, the supreme, and the Almighty. Dear Lord, we're asking you with your most beautiful names, of which when you are asked with, you respond, of which when you're called upon, you respond. Almighty God, we submit ourselves to you. We pray to you that you make our company, eTranzact, a greater company than it is, and it was in 2022. Dear Lord, guide us where we need to be guided, nurture us where we need to be nurtured. Almighty God, we pray you answer our prayers in this world and in the hereafter. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wassalamu ala al-mursalin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Amen.
Thank you. Because that's the approval. Hold on.
Thank you. Look at the main chairman. Keep it up. And we like you. Thank you. We appreciate the effort, so keep it up. Thank you. Jamil, canceling.
Where does it come? Congratulations. Okay, very good. Okay, let's take this picture.